Hey, what's up, YouTube? I created this short video for directory website owners using WordPress and the Business Directory plugin to host their listings to help you go from boring listing pages like this to beautiful listing pages like this. My name is Christopher Peters. I'm the owner of privatesecurity.org, a business directory website for private security providers. Let's get into it. You want to create a hero section for your website listing pages because you want to communicate to your user right away that this is the right solution for them, that the listings held below are going to solve their problem and provide them that emotional transformation that they're looking for.
I was inspired to do this by Tim Stoddard's website directory, Sober Nation. Tim Stoddard recommended using the Business Directory plugin on his YouTube, and so I went with that. But then when I set up my pages and found that the default view was pretty sad, and I compared it with what Tim had done with Sober Nation and this beautiful heading section for his listing pages, I was inspired to figure out how he did that. And the solution that I came up with was creating a custom plugin, business directory plugin theme to add a custom view into my directory. In order to apply this solution, you're going to need a couple of plugins on your WordPress site. First, obviously, you're going to need the business directory plugin, which is, basically what we're talking about. And then you're also going to need the advanced custom fields plugin. This allows you to create custom fields that then you can link into your WordPress document pages. Finally, to fix a bug that I discovered along the way, you're going to need this custom code snippets plugin. There are multiple versions of this in the plugins directory. I happen to choose this one, but there are a bunch. And I'll show you how to use it when we get there. Business Directory plugin already has the idea of custom themes built in. You can purchase premium themes from them, or you can build one yourself. And here's what they look like. Inside, once you've added it to your WordPress site, the file structure is under here, under WP content. There's a business directory themes folder. They don't go into the plugins folder where business directory plugin lives, and they don't go into the themes folder where your current WordPress theme exists. It's something separate from that. Okay, so inside business directory themes, you'll have a directory for your theme, and under the directory, you'll have a few areas. You'll have the theme.json file, which describes what your theme basic properties are and where to locate your CSS files. Then you'll have a templates directory that holds your actual PHP code templates, and an assets directory which will hold your CSS files and any JavaScript files that you put in. It's very important, once you go into your CSS files, if you decide to change these, which is going to give you a lot of control over how your header section, how your hero section shows up, if you make any changes in here, you're going to also need to bump, or at least I had to, you're going to need to bump the version inside the theme.json, because the way that web browsers use CSS files, they aggressively cache them so they don't have to download them every time that they visit a website. So you need to bump this version in order to tell the web browser that you're looking at a different version of the site and you need to download the CSS again. So that's just a caveat. If you get into editing, all of these files, this directory structure is going to be available for you in a GitHub repo that I've created. and the link is in the description. There's a PHP file here which we'll talk about more later. It's called for fixing a bug that I discovered when I went through and started trying to work on these custom themes. Once you have your custom theme in place and on the file system for your WordPress web host, you can activate it in the directory themes area here. Here is my hero lists BDP directory theme. Okay, once you've activated your theme, you're going to need to go into the Advanced Custom Fields menu and create the fields that we'll be using inside the theme. So you'll create a new field group. I named mine BDP Taxonomy Extended Fields. You can name it whatever you want. This part doesn't matter. So you go in to edit this field group, and you want to add 3 fields. First, BDP Taxonomy Hero Headline, the text field. BDP Taxonomy Hero Image, an image, and BDP Taxonomy Hero Description. Now you can do these in any order, but the name has to be the same. The plugin will automatically create a machine-friendly name here that's underscore separated, and this is exactly what the PHP inside the custom theme is going to be looking for. So these have to be exactly correct. If they don't match, you won't find your custom fields. As you can see from looking inside the configuration for each of these, there's a field type. This is text. The image one will be image. There's an opportunity to put a default value. It's not something I'm doing. For the image, you want to click on Return Format Image Array. That's something that the PHP is expecting, and it could have different effects if you're choosing the URL or the image ID. And then finally, the description is another text field. Then down below in the settings area for this field group, we see that there are location rules. This is what causes the field groups to show up only for the specific kinds of directory content that we're working with. So for this theme to work, we're showing taxonomy is equal to directory tag, or taxonomy is equal to directory category. You see these AND buttons at the end of each of these lines. It's kind of a confusing UI thing that they've done here, but basically don't click on those. That's allowing you to create compound rules for a particular rule setting. But these are the only 2 that you need, separated by the OR. And then you'll save changes. Now that we have our custom fields in place, and we have our custom theme in place, which is going to be looking for those fields, now we have to actually populate the fields with information. So we'll go, in this case, I'm editing a tag for my directory website. Categories also will have these options. And you can see here, it's got the name of my field group, BDP Taxonomy Extended Fields, and the name of each field listed. I've got a headline here, feel safe and well protected, taxonomy hero image, and taxonomy hero description. Now, one thing that's interesting, this is where I discovered a bug, and that's why I have a PHP fix included in the repo. So when you choose an image for a particular tag or category, this select button right here was missing. In order to make it visible and to show up, I had to enable this PHP code snippet. So in the custom snippets area, we have the Fix Select Media button for BDP Directory Taxonomy. It doesn't matter what you name this, but the custom PHP code that I've included in the ACF Media Select Button Fix Snippet.php file inside my custom theme. It doesn't do anything here, but you can copy and paste that into your snippets plugin, save and activate that, and that will cause the select button to show up for the image selector. So we go back over to our directory tag that we're trying to edit. And now inside the image selector, our select button will be present. So choose our image, and there we go. And now we can click the update button to save the changes. And now our directory listing will have this very attractive header area that you can use to put in information to maximize the usefulness and to give your users the confidence that this is the right page for them and these listings are going to solve their problem. So that's it. That's how I did it. If you have any questions or if there's anything I didn't cover, let me know in the comments. I'm also happy to help do a small amount of troubleshooting if that's something that you need. Good luck, and talk to you soon. Bye.